going on? What's going on, everybody? Hope y'all having a wonderful day today. I am literally recording in one place and live in two places at one time. This is all brand new to me. So bear with me today. But man, isn't God good, man? He has to get the glory. I got to let the CNC know that we are here right now because you know what we do here at Godly Mindset Motivation. We go to God first and then we talk about securing the bag. And today's topic is a little bit radical. I'm about that life. Do you hear me? I'm about that life. So I'm just dropping this in the Chestnut Checkers group. If you want to learn more about the Chestnut Checkers group, do me a favor, go to www.rogers1906. Click the link at the top of the page. Join us in the Chestnut Checkers group. You can get a full overview about what the CNC is. Also, you can get a discount on all of my classes. So make sure that you tap in with that. But today's word, once again, is entitled, I'm about that life.
Oh my
So the
God.
background scripture for today actually comes from the book of Romans chapter 12, verses 1-3. And it says, and so, dear brothers and sisters, I plead with you to give your bodies to God. To give your bodies to God because all he has done for you. Let him be a living and holy sacrifice, the kind he will find acceptable. This is truly the way to worship him. Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person. This is huge. Let him transfer you into a new person by changing the way that you think. Then you will learn how God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect because of the privilege and authority God has given me. I give to each of you a warning. Do not think you are better than you really are. Be honest in your evaluation of yourselves, measuring yourselves by the faith God has given you. Now, it's so important that we take this context and make it relevant to our lives today. All right. We have to understand that before we can level up, before we can be about that life, we have to be willing to surrender, right? We have to be willing to give up some of the things that we used to do that were not necessarily good for us. We even have to be willing to give up people that were not necessarily good for us, right? We have to change our environment, change our mindset, which is why it's always good to be in a community of people that have the like mind. And even some people may try to be a part of that community and not necessarily be on the same level or the same plane that you're on, and you have to lift them up. Or sometimes they may duck out and block their blessing. It is what it is. But at the same token, you have to understand that surrendering is extremely important. All right. Now, as you do this, you're sacrificing the old you for the new person that you are going to become, the person that you are to be about that life, right? So you cannot expect to evolve if you're doing the same exact stuff over and over and over again. Next, you have to transform your thought process, transform and renew your thinking, just as the text tells us in Romans chapter 12, right? It says, understand your power and align your mind with God's will. Understand that doing that, you have to have an element of patience in your life and how you think and how you move, how you trade, how you strategize, how you plan, how you prepare for your fitness goals, how you diet, all of that. You have to transform everything within you and how you think and how you address these problems, right? Now, you have to understand that the biggest part of this comes with discipline, right? Now, I hope I don't step on too many people's toes when I say this, right? In this society, we don't like to read. We don't want to even invest our time in learning how to perfect the craft oftentimes. We don't even want to invest our money in sometimes to do what is going to even make us money or put us in a position because everything is so convenient, right? This also requires us to transform our thinking, right? Now, we have to understand that this requires discipline. It also requires us to go back to surrendering, to sacrifice, right? But we have to understand that the core foundation of all of this before we can evolve is a relationship with God. Now, even as we evolve, even as we move, right, the next element we have to have is humility. And we have to be honest with ourselves and evaluate ourselves. I saw something today, and I'm not going to disclose who it is or anything like, but I saw something that said, I'm looking for the free things on how to identify a play or a trade. Well, And the person also said, I have some debt that I need to take care of. All right, so this is our mindset, right? Our priorities have to be to take care of what's important. That debt needs to be resolved before we can have the risk of investing money that we're not willing to lose. So understand that there's a process. You have to surrender. You have to think. You have to remain humble and honestly evaluate yourself. Because the last part of being about that life, about the life of having a life of abundance, not only the relationship with God, but the ability to have finances, the ability to have investments, the ability to accomplish your goals requires each of these things. And you cannot be too prideful. You cannot be too overly confident, but you have to also understand that all of these things have to be separated from the aspect of greed, right? We cannot get greedy. We got to stay hungry, and we have to have a huge balance about being about this life. All right. So I want you to be encouraged, right? To live humbly, to rely on God's grace, to let Him put you with the right community. And even the people that aren't supposed to be there, let them shake them off, right? Understand that sometimes you do want your haters to see you win, but it's okay. Hit the block button. It's perfectly fine. You have to level up. Your gangster is patience. Because I'm telling you, the most powerful person in the room is often the most quiet. I saw Armando, Tall Guy Tycoon. He made a post the other day that said, my mama always told me not to talk when I eat. How is that principle still applicable to today? That might go over some of your heads. Now, understand I'm saying this and as I remember it, but that made so much sense to me, right? So much sense. And what that is as you are eating, as you're leveling up, you don't have to show your bag all the time. Of course, we want people to see the gains, right? I love people to see the gains, but the gain that I love hearing the most about is you, all of you saying, hey, Mark, man, I thank God for what you're doing because I now am able to go back to God. I lost track. I almost lost hope, but now I'm back in my word. I'm praying more. Because now, not only that, you also making a boatload of money with me. And I thank God for that. And I don't deserve any glory. But I'm telling you that your mindset and what you have done has told me that you are about that life. This is our winning season. And there is nothing that can stop us when we have God before us. So, my brothers and sisters, y'all be encouraged today that today we have to take a step to surrender, to transform our thinking, and to be humble and evaluate ourselves in the process. Let's be about that life. Let's live in abundance. And let's most importantly keep God first and secure the bag. You already know what time it is. We're going to get to the stocks. As you can see, I got my Ray-Ban Metas back. So it's on and popping like Donkey Kong, y'all. Super happy about it. We're going to do some live TA today. Unfortunately, you guys on TikTok, y'all going to miss it. But you can always go to my YouTube channel, Rogers1906, Godly Minds, the Godly Mindset Motivator, and catch the replay, see the full stock analysis, and so forth there. All right. So, side note, it's been a crazy yet beautiful week on the market. It's only Tuesday. And as we navigate through the rest of this trading day, tomorrow's a very special day to me personally. All right. It is Juneteenth. And before I even talk about the bag, I want to say that in the 1865, slaves didn't even know that they were free. They did not even know that they were free. And I'm so glad that in this country, they decided to make it an official holiday to recognize a day of freedom. So tomorrow, as you guys enjoy the market being closed, time doing what you want to do, make sure that you recognize your freedom and the freedom of others. And let's continue to keep God first in all things. Now, let's get to these stock picks today. First things first, I want to talk a little bit about SPY. I'm actually going to go ahead and let's see if we can turn this. Right now, I want to just take a look at SPY, okay? A lot of times when I'm trading SPY, I like to actually look at the S&P index as well as the dollar index, right? I think that These are very important as well. I mean, we can even throw the volatility index in there, VIX. Those are all very important to see what's happening with the market. Now, today, SPY has had some really crazy momentum. So is the S&P index. We got as high as around what 5,490 on the S&P index. SPY actually touched 548, almost 549. And there's a possibility here that it could happen again. Okay. Currently, we have so much support on SPY on this 65-minute time frame. We've tested support, and right now it's just a tug of war between the bulls and the bears. But something in me is telling me, again, not financial advice, because I cannot tell you what to buy or sell, that we need to stay long on this. Okay. I like the fact that most of the candles on the 65-minute time frame were trading above the 10-day exponential moving average. And we can see right now we're just hovering on that 10-day EMA on the 10-minute time frame, right? It's a little bit choppy, and that's mainly because, again, the dollar index, which you can see here on the right if you're on Instagram. If I show my hand, yeah, there we go. So right here on this side, we see that the dollar has consolidated between $104.85 and roughly 104.94. Okay, we need the dollar to actually fall below 104.85 and go down. Now, I want to say this before I even go too deep in this. As I'm talking about the dollar, some of you are like, crypto is crashing, crypto is falling. And I normally don't jump and intermingle the two, but I'm going to right now. All right, and let me tell you why. All right, so as the dollar goes up, Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of that, all the cryptocurrencies have a tendency to go down. We need the dollar to completely collapse. Okay. Part of inflation is because the bonds were being sold off from China and other countries, which caused the dollar in the United States to increase as far as value. Price of goods went up, and it's really hurt all of us. Okay. Now we're off of the highs for the US dollar, but as it goes up, Bitcoin goes down, market kind of goes down, except for a few major players, and we'll talk about those in a minute. You kind of got a glimpse right there if you caught it. But the dollar is consolidated, so we need it to fall. Once that dollar falls, what we've been seeing on SPY will continue to manifest itself. So let's just zoom out right quick. I'm on the 1-day time frame for SPY, ticker SPY. Again, it follows the S&P index. And if we zoom out even more, we'll see that this thing has been on a dominant uptrend for a very, very long time. Okay. And it will continue to do so. So I know within a couple of days, especially if we get better inflationary data, okay, that this is going to keep going up. All right. So let's just zoom out once again. Again, if you're on TikTok, join me on Instagram if you want to see what I see. I'm glad that you're here. It's about 5 of you guys here. But on Instagram right now, you can see what I'm looking at. And you'll be able to also check this out from a different perspective on my YouTube channel. All right. So here we are, the 1 month time frame on SPY. Okay, you see down here June 2021. 2021, and we've kind of consistently went up. We had COVID happen, right? And it's consistently gone up. Even if we go back even further than that, it's not been an extreme dip on the S&P index or SPY in years. Okay, so this thing is going to keep going up. I told you guys in Houston, Texas, buy in May, sell by Labor Day. Okay, and that's exactly what we did. So right now, I'm trading a little SPY call. All right, if you're on Instagram, you should probably be able to see it. Let's see here. I don't know what I just did. Okay, there we go. So I got this one little play right here that I'm working on SPY. Can y'all see that? All right. So there it is. Boom. A 550 call expired June 26th. I do believe that we're going to see that. All right. We're going to get that, and it's going to happen for us. But as we're trading SPY, we have to understand that the VIX is going to move. The S&P index is going to be affected by VIX. The dollar's got to move. So we have to keep all of the key economic data in our peer view as well. So marketwatch.com is a good site that I like to use to see what the Fed has going on. Okay. So on Thursday, we got another jobless claim. We got housing starts. We got a lot of housing data this week. And then next week, we got another jobless claims come out on Thursday, and then PCE index. Once that PC index comes out on Friday, let it be show us that we've had progress. I'm telling you, the market could rally really nicely. All right. So it's going to be quite interesting as to what happens next week between now and next week. But we have an opportunity to make a boatload of money. Okay. So again, I like SPY, I like SPX, and that moves with the S&P index. Okay. Now, as I talk about SPY, I want to point your attention to something else that's pretty vital. I've been watching RTX, Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics. These are my war plays, right? And honestly, General Dynamics is cooking. Lockheed Martin is cooking, right? Lockheed Martin is actually up to 459. It's up 0.13% today, but it's still better than what it was. RTX is up to 104.80. I think it's going to 106. I got a nice call option on RTX as well that I want to share. Again, not financial advice. Let's see here. RTX is I'm in a 106 call, expiring August the 2nd. Okay. 106, August the 2nd. So I really like that play. And I think that it's going to be a really cool signal, something worth swinging. I'm on the monthly time frame for RTX. I'm going to zoom into the 1-day time frame right now. Okay. Now, this 1-day time frame, we can see that we did kind of fall below the 10-day EMA. It's telling us to short the play at the moment on the 1-day, but we're going to zoom in and get a little surgical with the momentum. Okay. I like conducting surgery on these stocks, right? Because I've been watching a lot of The Resident. So I'm out here feeling like the Raptor right now. Okay. So at any rate, short term, we have a little bit of selling pressure on RTX. But I think that all in all, once we zoom out, especially if anything pops off between Israel, between Russia, Ukraine, the Hamas, all of that, if the United States get involved, all of these war plays are going to pop. We just saw a defense bill get approved last week between the House, right? I think the House approved it. So you can go in and just type in defense spending in your Google, all right, and then it'll have all of these particular plays, everything about it, and you'll see that some of these tickers that we're looking at for our defensive plays, such as RTX, General Dynamics, are all going to move. Now, I found another one that was mentioned that was brand new to me, and this thing is up 1.39% today, and that is ticker HII. Huntington Ingalls Industries. Okay. This was in the defense bill as well. And honestly, I'm a little bit late getting to this play, but I really want to jump into a call like right now on on this ticker. I need it to break 246.75. It's got a lot of resistance right here, which kind of has me somewhat hesitant on just jumping in one right now. I need to see what happens within the next few minutes or so on this play, but it looks like it wants to test and break resistance and get up to that 247 price per share. Everything is telling me to go long on ticker HII, and I hate to make things about war, but that's what our country's about, right? So let me go ahead and just tap right in right now to that. Give me just 2 seconds. Boom. All right, so I like HII, RTX, GD, LMT, and then we talked a little bit about SPY. Okay, so let me jump right into HII right now. I'm pretty sure that these options are going to be expensive. Now, because we don't know what's going to happen with wars, we cannot predict wars or anything like that. Understand that none of this is financial advice. Okay, so you do what you want to do. All right, I'm going to look at a September 20th, $250 call on ticker HII. Average cost is about $10 a call option. All right, I'm going to just go ahead and jump in that right now. I may have to make it closer to the bid because it does have a wide bid and ask spread, but I like HII for a swing trade, and I'm in that bad boy right now. And we're going to switch this thing over so you can see. All right, this is the call that I bought. Screenshot. If you're on any of the other platforms. I'm just going to turn that around for you so you can see. Again, not financial advice, but I want to be transparent with you guys and what I'm doing so you can go and do your own TA, your own due diligence. But I need this thing to break 246. So I'm going to go ahead and set that alert right now while I'm live with you guys, because I do think that, again, this is a sleeper. And if we zoom out, we'll see that we're well off of the highs on this play. All right. This thing was once about $301.12. And they have earnings in the next 44 days, August the 1st. And I really like this again. All right. So again, the ticker once again is HII. All right. HII. And I bought the September 20th, $250 call. All right. So I'm gonna ride this thing out. And the reason why I like to look at the expiration dates after the earnings date is simply because as the momentum builds up for earnings, you see something happen called implied volatility, also known as IV, right? Now, implied volatility will go up. And of course, the contract value should also increase. I'll have the dollar cost average and then move from there. Now, somebody already put in the chat on Instagram what I planned on looking at next. And that is none other than Palantir. Now, I love this play a lot. We got in Palantir a long time ago, somewhere around $6-7. We started looking at it. And Palantir has cooked, right? We called it out for earnings a couple quarters back. And I mean, it has not stopped, honestly. We had a little small dip back to like $19 at one point. Right now it's at $25.82. And I'm telling you, I like Palantir a lot for the long-term play. So again, I've told you guys what I'm in on Palantir before. I bought that $25 call expiring January. What date is it? Yeah, January 17th, 2025. And we got in that on May the 13th. We're up 99.92%. Y'all see the play. All right. So we sniped that bad boy. And I'm telling you, it's going to happen again. I got another Palantir here that we jumped in, and I got to give a shout out to the CNC. We just did this yesterday. All right. So we bought the $40 calls on Palantir. Okay, expiring January 17, 2025. And we're up 20%. And we bought 50 of them. So we made $1,000 overnight. All right, on this one play. And I told you guys once before, Palantir, and I'm sorry I blocked this on my YouTube. Palantir is a $100,000 player higher. This thing, if we zoom out even more, this thing was all the way up to $60 at one point. All right. So let's just take a look at that. All right. So we were always at 45, close, 45, 44. I'm about $15 off, but this thing has been cooking. All right. And I think that we're going to get back to that. We're going to possibly see Palantir have a new record all-time high. We know they got government contracts. And if you know me from the CNC, you know, I call this thing James Bond. So if you've been making money on Palantir, drop some money bags in the chat, because I'm telling you, this is only the beginning, and put a diamond there with it because you've got diamond hands. Okay. So once again, I think that Palantir will go to about $45 or higher, break its all-time high. And I think that we got a lot of time in our positions. Again, if anything pops off, James Bond is going to do the same thing. Right now, I don't know if, IG will let me buy badges now, but if you guys want to support it by a badge, please make sure you do that. Subscribe to my channel on IG. And then that would be great to help us continue to enhance what we do. All right. So moving right along, there was another play that I really liked. And I got to give credit to where it's due. My boy Mayhem, Anthony Izzo, man, love you, bro. He pointed out some great things that I like about this company. Maybe I shouldn't have said his name. I'm sorry, my man. But at any rate, I like this company, and I think that we have a key level of support right now on Lucid. Now, we understand that production has not been quite well for Lucid, and we're way off the highs for this company. Now, we know they have Saudi Arabian backing. And if and when they start producing and distributing their vehicles, their electronic vehicles, I think that this sleeper EV company will go back to its all-time highs. All right. So I had an $8 price target a long, 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 long time ago. But I'm just trying to zoom out so y'all can see where the high was at its peak. Okay. Let's hit this here. So at its peak, we were at 65.25, and then we had another high of around 57.90. I think at the moment they start talking about production and distribution of these EVs, this thing is going to pop from where it is at $2.58 right now to wherever it's going. All right. So I'm buying shares right now. I got 100 shares of Lucid, and I think Lucid is going to do well in the long term. This may be a 5-10 year play, but I think it's super cheap. Just like somebody said on Instagram, Tesla will also do well. I don't disagree at all. I don't disagree at all. So Tesla will also run up. I remember it was almost $3,000 back during COVID. So I do like Tesla, but understand it's so volatile right now. Elon is doing what Elon does. And, we'll just have to see what happens just with that pay package that happened. I think that really helped the momentum of the company. Now, I do want to talk about this one here. All right. So I've been kind of, let me give a disclaimer here. I really like Nvidia a lot. Okay. I love Nvidia. Tall Guy Tycoon called this thing out at like $200. It's been moving ever since. Okay. And I have shares of Nvidia. I think I have about 50 shares, and I've got a long-term position on Nvidia. But here's where the crazy stuff comes in. All right. So there's a small level of skepticism saying that Nvidia is going to trade at $150 within the next week or even by Friday. All right. So somebody show me something. So I guess I got to find it myself because Nvidia is at its all-time high right now. Again, before the split, right now Nvidia would be worth about $1,358.60. Okay. So this is a uncharted waters for Nvidia. That means that for it to be at 150, it would have to be at $1,500 prior to what it was at the split. There's not any resistance whatsoever at the moment on the longer time frames for Nvidia. All right, but if we zoom in just a little bit, okay, Nvidia is extremely overbought on the shorter time frames. Here's our RSI. Okay, it's overbought. Usually, when something's overbought, it has to come down, and it's been overbought since June 18th. Okay, now eventually it will pull back. The question is when. So I'm curious as to how we're going to get to $150 by Friday. Okay. I would love to see it happen. I think Jensen Huang spoke today, but I just don't see it happening by Friday. Now, within the next 3 weeks, yeah, possibly I can see that happening. All right. But as Nvidia moves, guess what? The market is going to start moving now because now they are one of the largest companies on the S&P index. Now, there are other things that you could trade for Nvidia or that Nvidia may be buying. And one of them that I really, really like that I want to point out to you guys is RXRX. Okay. Now, also keep in mind that Nvidia also bought or is buying SoundHound. They're also buying, there's one other company. Jesus, I can't think of the name of it. I had shares of them, but I let them go. But I'm holding RXRX. I think it's NNOX. That's right. NNOX. So RXRX is at support right now on the 1-day time frame. I think it's going to go to $15. And at $9.52, I'm going to keep dollar cost averaging my 100 shares of RX anytime it dips. But it's been holding the line right where I need it to be. And I'm loving the gain so far on RXRX, and I think it's going to keep going up. I like the company a whole lot, especially for the simple fact of what they're doing with the nanobots, right? And again, that ticker was NNOX is the other company that they were buying. Thank you for putting that Oak 2K24 in the chat on IG. But again, I think it's going to $15. Okay. Now, right now, I don't know any details about them acquiring the company. But analysts are saying that this could go to 17. I think I'm being quite conservative when I say $15, but this is a strong buy and hold, and I like the setup on RXRX. So far we covered SPY, RTX, Palantir. I talked a little bit about some other war plays, Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics, talked about Lucid, talked about RXRX, mentioned Nano NNOX, and also mentioned SoundHound. No, I don't have SoundHound. No, I do not have any more NNOX as of today. I think I practice risk management, but I like this company, RXRX. All right, now I wanted to take a look at something else that I think that will be really innovative for I guess AI. All right. Intuitive Surgical Incorporated. All right. Now I decided to take a very low risk conservative approach to investing in this company. Because of one other company by the name of the symbol TEM. Okay. TEM. TEM just IPO'd this week. And it was moving very well. I've already taken my little small gains on this thing because usually when something IPOs, it falls back down. In which case, we saw this thing come all the way from $43 to now $31 a share. So this is still a good buying opportunity for a long-term play, but I want to see it come down a little bit more. But ISRG is already a developed company doing what TEM is likely going to do, and that is help possibly use AI to develop cures for cancer, and more type of technologies for surgeries. And my boy James Kinney, also known as Jackie, pointed this company out to me as I was talking to him last Friday about TEM. So I like this play a whole lot, whether it's with options or shares, but I'm going to take the aspect of owning shares of this company. Okay. Analysts do say that this is a strong buy. Okay. So you can see what they're saying. I like the momentum 1 month out, a year out, whatever it is. All right. Thing is a long-term hold for me. All right. So that's why I'm buying shares. Now, here they're saying it's actually overvalued. But again, analysts, 14 of them are saying strong buy here. And about 11 of them saying hold, 6 of them saying buy. They're saying this thing could go to $500. We're already at 434. That is a nice gain, ladies and gentlemen. So let's just hypothetically say that you decided to go and buy an option. Again, this is just for educational purposes only. All right, I'm going to go to this website called optionstrat.com. We're going to create a call. We're going to go and type in ISRG. All right, ISRG. All right, once we type it in, we're just going to go long out the gate. We're going to look at January 16, 2026. Okay. And then I want to say, let's just say we bought a $500 call. Okay. And let's look at the contract values, and let's just say that if we bought it today, it would probably be like at what, 52.49 a contract. Okay. And let's just say that by January 2026, this company not only goes to $500, but it goes to $1,000 because guess what? Maybe they discovered a cure for cancer. Oh my goodness. What do you know? Now those contracts are worth $600 a piece. That is $60,000 a contract. Y'all see that, right? Okay. I know I'm not tripping. So again, the long-term lens is always good, right? So I really like this company. This website is called optionstrat.com. You can go and see the value of your options. I just showed you how to do a call. You can do it for the puts as well. Now, back to what I was doing. All right, let's take a look at a few more things. Now, Coach Bree, a good friend of mine, y'all know her as Trade with Bree on IG. She called out RELI today. What's going on, Robinson Plus 2? Good to see you. At any rate, she called out Relly, right? And Relly pumped today, ran all the way up to about 80, 90 cents. This is a real estate investment trust. Nice little short squeeze. I think the momentum is over for now. Back when we started looking at this company in 2023, it was like around $4 and some change. After today's momentum, we started retesting some key levels of resistance on this penny stock. All right. So I bought 1,000 shares this morning, sold 900 of them for, I think, like 34 to 40% gains, left 100 of them. They're probably down now, and that's perfectly fine with me. But as we get more housing data, best believe that this real estate investment trust is absolutely golden, right? So I think that it's going to keep going up. I think Brooklyn Knoll just said it. He got it at 66 cents and got out and doubled it up. That's what we want to do. We want to double our money, right? But again, it goes back to that mindset. We talked about being about that life. All right. So I like real estate investment trust, really, Reliance Global. I can't talk for a nice long-term play or even this short squeeze. Okay. Next one I want to drop on you guys that I'm liking a lot, that I'm going to actually trade for earnings momentum is Netflix. All right. So unfortunately, the Mike Tyson butt whooping that's getting ready to happen to Jake Paul. Put your money where your mouth is if you want to talk about it. I'm not going to bet with you, but I'll do some push-ups. But I think that that fight is going to drive more momentum to Netflix. People are going to get the subscription. They're limiting password sharing, which is also dope. But their earnings are going to be in 30 days. That's July the 18th, right? Let's just back test that, right? Because sometimes TradingView it trips sometimes as far as the earnings are concerned. So let's go to earningswhispers.com. We're going to type NFLX in the box search. It says earnings are July the 18th. All right. So we got a little light confirmation, but I have a $700 price target on Netflix right now. Okay. I want to see it keep this upward momentum. I'm going to go ahead and add alert right now. $699.66. But it tells me to go long, stay long. And with this whole NFL Sunday ticket thing that they're planning to do, I think that Netflix is a top competitor just in the rumor. I'm putting quotations here. The rumor, I think Netflix will continue to do well, right? It has a lot of support around $645. I like the $700 calls, at least past earnings, okay? So I will continue to invest in Netflix. I'm not telling you what to buy or sell. But I think that those two catalyst earnings coming up in July and the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight are going to drive exponential momentum to the upside for Netflix. Now, the analysts are saying that this is also a strong buy, but it's currently overvalued. Man, they can miss me with that. I think it's going to go between $700 and $800. If it does exceed that, imagine Netflix doing what we're seeing Nvidia, Chipotle, and even Broadcom do and have a stock split, right? So that would be awesome because that would create new investment opportunities for many people who cannot afford to spend $657 a share, all right, or more. So Netflix is in the playbook for a few months. All right, now, last one I'm going to drop on you guys as far as the stock market is concerned. Been talking about it. I'm going to keep talking about it, but we made a lot of money on this play. Ticker HIMS, HIMS, right? They're getting the GLP-1, the same thing that Eli Lilly has, the same thing that Novo Nordisk has, right? They're going to allow people to start buying it through their mobile app. They already have a weight loss program to kind of navigate into that, to my understanding. But this thing is a long time buy. I actually took my gains on the call that I signaled right here on IG, but I'm probably going to get back in it. I've been trying to see what happens right here with this 10-day EMA. It already looks like it's going back to $25. We touched $30 on this thing. I think we did. Yeah, we got close to about $30. Almost. It was $25.75. Anyways, Hims has been running. All right. And I kind of want to get back in it, another long-term position, because once they start selling and allowing that GLP-1, it's going to take off. All right. So those are the tickers that I wanted to cover with you guys today. Oh, wait. There's one more. As I talk about Hims, and we have to talk about telehealth, I think Lemonade is also something to put back on your watch list. Now, we were looking at this play very heavily back in 2023. Lemonade actually has some really dynamic performance in the past. I mean, like $40 or higher. Back in what, 21, it was at $188. Okay. But I think it can go back to at least $40 to $100. Okay. Lemonade Health. It's only $16. It was at $15 this morning. in and out on this play. I wish I would have held on to it, but I might get back in it for the long term. I don't know if Lemonade pays dividends. I don't think they do. But they have earnings that are coming up in the next 43 days, July 31st. And as that momentum builds, you have an opportunity to play on implied volatility, right? Romance said your lemonade call is up 215% today. Man, congratulations to each of you guys. She also said earnings are coming up for hymns too. I'm not, again, I got to get back into that play. All right, y'all. So before I do this, I do want to take a look at crypto for just a split second. Okay. I already kind of gave you guys the blueprint as to what's happening with cryptocurrency at the moment. As the dollar goes up, it hurts crypto. Okay. Bitcoin actually fell below 65,000, which this is also a really good thing. See, some of you guys may look at this and say, oh, I'm losing money. Oh, it's not going anywhere. Well, look, change your mindset. Okay. This is an opportunity to do exactly what the rich, the wealthy, and the elite are doing. Dollar cost average, buy more, accumulate, do all of that. All of that. All right. So, me personally, I can tell you, I have personally, again, not financial advice, I've been buying Ethereum. I've been buying ENS, and I've also been buying Solana. I think Solana is going to be the next one to get a spot ETF. When the ETF is released for Ethereum, it'll probably be sometime in July, and either July or September, the last I read. When that happens, I think the crypto market will kind of shift, and maybe we can see the dollar start falling. So again, I love Solana, I love Ethereum, but this is an opportunity to do exactly what Armando talks about in the Strategic Millionaire. Accumulate, right? We go through those market cycles, and that's exactly what we have an opportunity to take advantage of. Okay. So again, I like ENS and I like Ethereum, but this site is coinmarketcap.com. You could always go to CoinMarketCap if there's any type of crypto that you just want to know where you can buy it. You can go here. Let's just say if I wanted to buy Proppy, okay, I would just type the ticker in, or I mean, I'm sorry, not the ticker, the symbol, and then it'll bring up the price. You know, we got 150, I mean 130. Man, Proppy's came down a lot. I'm so glad I took my bag on that. Anyways, then we would click markets and it would tell us where we can buy it. Okay, so that's just how this site works. Now, for just a few minutes here, I want to take at least 3 tickers on IG and at least 2 or 3 questions on TikTok. Drop them in the comments right now. I'm gonna give you guys a chance to do that. I will do a live analysis on 3 from IG and 3 from TikTok. So drop them right now. SMCI. All right. Boom. What we got over here on TikTok? None yet. If you got a ticker or crypto you want me to look at, drop it in the comments right now. Moo, Micron, okay, ExxonMobil. All right, maybe nobody's going to drop any on TikTok, so I'm just going to grab them from here. MLGO, SMR, and AMD. All right, we got our 6. Anything on TikTok? No, not yet. All right, so we got 6 tickers we're going to take a look at right now live on IG. Hit that share button right now. We got about, 12 minutes before power hour. So I want you guys to get as many people in here as you can. We're at 146 on IG right now. We're going to do a live TA on these 6 tickers, starting with SMCI. All right, so let me turn these bad boys around. Boom. All right, so we're back at it on the screen on IG. All right, so SMCI, man, I bought shares at 800 and what was it, 828, something like that. And they took off. All right, I bought shares. I ended up taking my gains like a goofball this morning. And then I got in a call, took a small L on that call. Then I grabbed a put, took a L on. Well, I had 54% gains on that put. Let me backtrack. And then I just said, okay, I'm gonna pause on SMCI till I have an opportunity to really watch the market because I've been super busy today. But as you can see right here on the 1-day time frame, SMCI has been cooking. I'd like to see it get to about 974 or higher. At the moment, we're kind of stuck at 925. Earnings are on August the 24th. I think anything positioned after August is going to be the move for SMCI because they could do what we've seen Nvidia do, and Broadcom. Okay. Again, with them being at 925, I don't see any reason why this thing isn't over $1,000 or higher. Now, when it went to $1,000 last time, people were made like $18,000 a contract. All right. So I'm possibly going to get back in SMCI all the way out to at least September in a few minutes. Okay. But right now, I'm here with you. So we're going to do this thing. I need to spend a little bit more time on it, but it looks like it has a flag at the moment. It's just starting to buy signal and it wants to go up. As we zoom in, we can get a little bit more surgical with this bad boy. Okay. Now, we have a key level of resistance at 939.77. So we need to break that 939.77, test 955, and then ultimately we'll probably reject around 977. And then we need to be above at least $1,007 from that point. All right. Now we've just got a long road ahead of us because the more that we zoom in, we're going to find that the resistance gets thicker and thicker and thicker and thicker. But all in all, we're in an uptrend. I've been saying it for a very, very long time before really you heard anybody else say it. When in doubt, zoom out, right? It's just that some people have a little bit more followers than me and they can get a little bit more clout with it. But when in doubt, you need to zoom out. Okay. I think that we will see 940 again and it's going to take off. All right. This is a great, great play for a long-term investment. Okay. Not just for trading, but as an investment. In the meantime, if and when it does dip, you can catch some gains to the downside, right? But I do like SMCI for a long-term play. Now, I do want to point out that the truth on the 10-minute time frame has a buy signal right now. It's probably going to rip before a power hour, go for a little bounce. On the daily, it's just getting started. Just like I said, I'd like to see it back at $1,200 at least by August. Okay, so I like this play a lot. The next one is someone had requested in a timely fashion. Micron, ticker MU. Now, I thought that Micron was going to pull back a little bit yesterday. In fact, I did have a put. That's why you see all these lines here. Made a little bit of gains on that put. It wasn't a huge profit, but a profit beats a loss any day. Micron is still on a dominant uptrend. I think that we're probably going to test 157 to 160 on Micron. It has a long-term buy signal on it as well. Also, it's a little hot. So it may consolidate before it goes up anymore. So you might be kind of late, but the choppiness is so low. I think it could keep going up just a hair and retest that 160 like I just said. But it is also overbought. But if we zoom out even more, we're just touching that overbought territory. Okay. So that 160 is likely, possibly could go higher. Earnings are in 8 days. And that could be the game changer. Everybody's saying this is a strong buy. I think if you're in it right now, you have an opportunity to capitalize on implied volatility. Okay. So IV is, again, the way we can make a lot of money real quick. So that's pretty much all I'm going to say about Micron. With them having earnings coming up in the next 8 days, playing at IV is a very wise move. Be about their life. All right. ExxonMobil. ExxonMobil, okay. XOM. Again, the petro agreement has ended between the United States and Saudi Arabia. Exxon is holding at 109. It appears as though it's getting ready to pull back a little bit. I'm not saying this isn't a complete sell signal. Let's look at the 1-day time frame. We've got some very small upward momentum. I think it consolidates before it actually goes down. Okay. And it's probably going to retest 112 within the next 2 weeks. And then it's going to fall back down to at least 102. Okay. I think Exxon will continue to trade sideways until something else happens with the petro agreement, the prior petro agreement that is now expired. Okay. So currently upside target 112.63 within the next 2 weeks. And then within the next month and a half, 102.64. All right. Remember, you heard that right here with Rogers 1906. All right. Now, MLGO, that was another ticker that was mentioned. All right. Micro Algo Incorporated. Okay. So this is another penny stock. Looks like to be sitting right at some support right now at the fair value gap. It's a little bit choppy, a lot of resistance. actually tells me to sell this play. It's not worth a long-term hold on the daily. And as I zoom out, it's still in a pretty dominant downtrend. I don't really like this company. Just looking at it, the analysts are saying it's neutral at this current price. Again, I'm not giving financial advice, but I am personally going to stay away from this thing. I think it's going to go down. I don't know if they have options or not, but if they do, I would look at a $2.80 support. Okay, it may actually have support a little before that at 339, but it will probably consolidate before it dips. It would need to break 481 before it takes off. If it breaks 481, we'll probably see 621 next. Okay, so yeah, Bree said the company's low on cash, so I'm gonna stay away from MLGO. I think that maybe you missed the short squeeze. So it's just not one that I personally would be investing in. All right. Now it could possibly still go up. So again, make sure you do your own technical analysis, right? Just like my boy AJ said, Bree, we need LGVN to go ahead and turn back around. I think LGVN is going to go to $12. That's not on my list, but I think that's going to $12, $13. It may not be this year, but it's going to happen. All right. The next one is SMR. Okay. SMR. Wow. Nice. NuScale Power Corporation. As I look at it, it's kind of pulling back. This thing looks like it's going to rip. Whoever called that out, shout out to you, my friend. This thing has a possible test of resistance coming at $10.13. It looks like in the past it touched 1141 and then rejected back down. I got about 10% battery left. So this may have to be our last one. I had AMD here, so let me jump on this. So $12 probably in the next month or two. Let me get AMD real quick, and then I'm gonna get off the glasses. All right, so last thing, AMD. This is good for day trading. I don't like AMD for the long-term hold. A lot of speculation that now with NVIDIA doing what it's going to do, they're going to have a supply chain constraint, and AMD was going to be the next thing they buy. I disagree. I think AMD is probably going to pull back and come to at least 137 or lower. I want to see AMD at $89 in the next 6 months. Call me crazy, but I don't see AMD as a long-term investment. All right. It will probably consolidate before that happens. I know y'all probably think I'm crazy for saying this, but I think it's going to keep going down. Even my time frame continuity agrees with me here. All right. Looking at the truth is telling me it's going down. So any upward momentum is a short-term uptrend, but I think it's going down 130, 140 within the next couple of weeks. All right. Boom. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all so much. That's all I had time to cover with you guys today. Again, to those of you who are watching on YouTube, I do apologize for blocking the screen a couple times, and super excited to now be going live with you guys on TikTok. I know it's not many of you guys there. It's about 126 of you guys here. Once again, make sure you go to www.rogers1906. Join us in the Chestnut Checkers group. There's a link in the upper right-hand corner. In fact, if you're on my YouTube channel, we're going to go check that out right now, www.rogers1906. See how much I can get out of these glasses real quick. All right, boom. www.rogers1906.com. You can scan that QR code, stay in touch with your boy. But, oh, come on now. Don't be moving too fast, computer. All right. But over here in the right-hand corner, like I said, you can join us in the Chestnut Checkers group, okay? We love to have you join us. I don't own this community. I'm the analyst here, and Armando's done a great job formulating this community. But also, if you would like to learn how to trade, my website is one of the dopest places you can be right now. You can simply go on here, and I want you to use the discount code WealthGap to any of my classes. But if you're live with me right now and you don't have this class right here, let's see, where is it? Boom. Where are we? The Everything Bundle. I want you to go here right now. You see how much it costs, right? I want you to go add to cart and type in Juneteenth. Type in Juneteenth between now and Thursday morning and get a huge discount on this class. You will not regret it. I will be adding some content to this class that is going to change everything on how you think about trading. The order to view this, you can see it in the comments, the description here. And I'm telling you, it's going to be a game changer for you. So again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your time, your patience, your prayers. Be about that life. But before we get out of here, let's go to God with a few prayers. My battery's getting ready to die on my glasses. So Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for your grace, your mercy, God, for you just making us over again. Lord God, we want to be transformed. God, we want to be made brand new. God, we want to please you in everything that we do. Father, we pray that our finances are blessed, our relationships are blessed, and that we live our lives with your provision and protection. Heavenly Father, you've been so good to us. God, you bless us over and abundantly, more than anything we could ever expect or imagine. So God, we thank you. We ask that you receive this prayer. Bless every man and every woman. In Jesus' name, I do pray. See you guys next time, and peace. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to Godly Mindset Motivation with me, live every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's such a thrill to be able to do this. Most importantly, to go to God first, then to teach you guys a way that you can be abundant with the stock market, with crypto, having a dynamic investing strategy, and how you do what you do. I'm super proud of you. Make sure you keep doing your thing. I'll see you next time.